is obviously your energy level. First is obviously your energy levels. So to make sure that you have enough energy to be able to train at 100%, but also enough energy during the day to do everything else that is required, your daily activities. So some of them might go to school, some of them might go to college. So just to function in other aspects of the day, plus to make sure that they have enough energy during training, nutrition plays the most important role. Somebody already said recovery. So, recovery is a very important aspect about nutrition. In terms of performance, when we talk about this, is all that we want: better speed, better stamina, better strength, better power. All of these is something that gets affected by what you are eating, how much you're eating, when you are eating it. And also in terms of recovery, sleep gets influenced by the amount of food, the quality and the quantity of food and water that you are drinking. So nutrition plays a part in a lot of different areas. Because of that, when you cover all the different areas with a good diet, the overall performance gets enhanced or improved. Okay. Now coming to the nutrients in food. So somebody already said carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals. Does anybody else know about the other nutrients that are present in food? Anybody? Y'all can just unmute yourselves. Fat, yes. So carbohydrates, fats, vitamins and minerals, fiber. So fiber is vitamins and minerals. Potassium and vitamins, again, vitamins and minerals. So, in food, you have a lot of nutrients that are present. Okay. So, some of the nutrients are macronutrients and some of the nutrients are micronutrients. So, macronutrients are the ones that your body needs in a larger amount to function properly and to better performance. Micronutrients are the ones that your body needs in a smaller amount, but they're still very, very essential for performance. So, when we talk about macronutrients, there are three major macronutrients in food: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. When we talk about micronutrients, there are two major micronutrients that are present in food, which is vitamins and minerals. All of this together makes up the food that you eat. Now, the trick is to eat these in the right quantity so that your body is matching the requirements when you are training, when you are performing. I don't know why my slide is not. Just give me a minute. I don't know why my slide is not changing.
Ma'am, just disconnect and connect again. Just like.
Yeah, maybe I'll just share it again. Sorry. Can you all see it now?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So nutrients in food, like we spoke about, major is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and micronutrients, which are your vitamins and your minerals. Now coming to carbohydrates, what is the function of carbohydrates in the body? What do carbohydrates do? Yes, Sam. I think you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Ma'am, are you hearing me? Hello? Ma'am, now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Ma'am, actually, carbohydrates are needed, ma'am, for any athlete. They are supposed to have sufficient carbohydrates along with the fat and other things. That's what need to have sufficient carbohydrates. And the carbohydrates are playing a vital role in every athlete's health and even the nutrition aspect also.
Yes, correct.
Ah,
Absolutely.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. But
Okay.
what do carbohydrates do in the body? What is the function of carbohydrates in the body? I think
They
some
are
of them
making
have.
to have a good digestion, ma'am. Even we need to have sufficient carbohydrates and to have the stamina and other things, ma'am.
So stamina,
Maybe.
yes.
Yes, ma'am. Uh,
Digestion, if you're having carbohydrates from fruits and vegetables, then yes, it does have help.
yes,
It
ma'am.
has
Yes.
fiber, so it helps with digestion. But mostly carbohydrates are important for energy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
either
When
quick
when when it,
energy.
ma'am, when we go for this athlete, no running and other track and field events, we will be requiring much stamina, ma'am. And if we have a stuff and that sufficient health, I meant in the from carbohydrates, it'll have us to have sufficient stamina, mainly in the perspective of running. Only half you can go with your normal body, and remaining you need to have sufficient stamina and this strength, ma'am. I meant the health from the carbohydrates and other nutrients, ma'am. That's what my point of view.
Okay. So stamina,
Uh,
yes, because the more energy you have, the more stamina you have.
yes,
So
ma'am.
it
Yes,
does
ma'am.
help with your energy and your stamina.
Okay.
Strength, not so much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
but yeah, most of y'all were right about energy production,
Okay.
primary source of energy, quick energy. All of that is correct.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
What are proteins important for?
Others can proceed. I'm quitting.
What are proteins important for? For muscle strength, formation and recovery, and muscle repair. Great. What are fats important for? Long-term energy reservoir. So again, another source of energy. So your body gets energy from two sources. One is carbohydrate and the other one is fat. And what about micronutrients? So vitamins and minerals. What are they important for? Recovery? Yes. Anything else apart from recovery that micronutrients might be important for? Functioning of key hydration. Yes. Yes, Arul. Okay, so most of it was correct. Hydration, yes. Recovery, yes. Healing, yes. Um, just now coming to the specifics. So carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy, especially when you need energy during high intensity activities or any high intensity explosive action. The body gets energy from carbohydrates and not fats. So for a lot of sprints, jumps, and throws events, you need carbohydrate as your main source of energy, either during competition or during training or even just during the day. If you have enough energy, obviously it will delay fatigue, which means you will not get tired as quickly, and you will be able to maintain your peak performance. What are the sources of carbohydrates? Where do you get carbohydrates from in food? Some of them are on the screen. Where do you get carbohydrates from? Again, I'll just probably read the chat. Rice, yes. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, correct. Anything else? Tapioca, yes. Banana, yes.
Rice, wheat,
Rice, wheat, yes. So anything that's made from grains, right? So it could be anything that's rice based, it could be anything that's wheat based, ragi, bajra, jawar, all of those are also sources of carbohydrates. Cereals, yes, fruits and vegetables have a certain amount of carbohydrates in them as well. But your major sources of carbohydrates would be any grain, potatoes, sweet potatoes, yams, all of these, oats. So anything that's made from wheat in terms of bread, noodles, pasta, any rice-based item like your dosa, idli, all of those are your major sources of carbohydrates. What about protein? Where do you get your major source of protein from? Egg whites, chicken, red meat, meat. Yes. So for non-vegetarians, the main source of protein would be meat, fish, and eggs. What about vegetarians? What are the main sources of protein for vegetarians? Pulses, soybean, peas, chickpeas, milk as well, right? So anything that is milk based, any milk product. So it could be paneer, it could be curd, it could be cheese, it could be normal milk. All of those are a good source of protein as well for vegetarians. And like we mentioned, tofu as well. Yes. Dry fruits, not so much, because dry fruits, like the word says, are fruits that are dried, and fruits don't have a lot of protein in them. It's mostly sugar or glucose. So dried fruits actually don't have a lot of protein. It has more of carbohydrates. So your dried fruits are your dates, raisins, figs, but nuts, yes. So nuts will have a little amount of protein in it. Almonds, walnuts, those are better in sources of protein than dry fruits. Dal, yes. So any pulses, so it could be chole, so chickpeas, kidney beans, it could be chana, it could be any kind of dal. All of those are good sources of protein as well. Now coming to fat, what are the good sources of fat in food? Butter, yeah. Butter, yes. Avocado, yes. So nuts, yes. Nuts are a good source of fat. Butter, yes. So any cooking method, so it could be butter, it could be ghee, it could be oil, vegetable oil, all of that is egg, yes. Which part of egg is a good source of fat? The yolk, yes. So egg becomes a good source of fat and it becomes a good source of protein. Um, Switching to fats, when your body needs energy on a longer term basis, so the quick energy comes from carbohydrates, but the energy stored in the body comes from fat. So when your body for longer, more aerobic, more endurance based activities, when your body needs energy, it ends up coming from fats and not from carbohydrates. So endurance athletes need to make sure that they're having a good balance between carbohydrates and fats so that your body continuously has a good amount of energy. Apart from energy, it is also essential to make sure that some of the micronutrients get absorbed in the body. So some of the micronutrients are water soluble, which means they need water for absorption, and some of the micronutrients are fat soluble, which means they need fat for absorption. Um, in which case, if you don't have enough fat coming from the diet, then the absorption of those vitamins and minerals is also lesser, especially vitamins. Um, what about micronutrients? What are the major sources of micronutrients? Water is not really, doesn't really have a lot of nutrients in it as such. Calcium is a micronutrient. Where do you get calcium from? Dairy. Great. Glucose is not really a micronutrient, but I think most of y'all are right. So, green leafy vegetables, fruits and veg. So, most of your micronutrients do come from fruits and vegetables. Some of them obviously come from other sources. What are the major micronutrients that are important for performance? Iron, calcium, yes. What else? Magnesium, sodium, zinc, potassium. Okay, why is sodium and potassium important? For electrolytes. And what happens if we don't have enough electrolytes in the body? What does it influence or what does it affect? Dehydration. Okay, great. So sodium and potassium are basically micronutrients that are important for hydration to make sure that the athletes don't get cramps or have any maintain fluid balance in the cells. Yes, maintain fluid balance in the cells. What is calcium important for? Bone strength. Great. What is iron important for? Iron is important for hemoglobin. Yes. And what does hemoglobin help in? Oxygen carrier. Great. So iron helps in making sure that all the oxygen that is there is going from the lungs to the other parts of the body. So making sure that the oxygen reaches the muscles because more the oxygen, the better the work the muscles can do. So it does help with oxygen transport. Great. So major sources of micronutrients will be fruits and vegetables. For micronutrients like calcium and iron, the major sources become for calcium is dairy and dairy products. For iron, it's mostly red meat or green leafy vegetables. Great. Now, how do you fuel pre, during, and post a training session? So, training session, the focus has to be more carbohydrates because we want the athletes to have more energy. So, a small meal or a small snack about an hour, or even 30 to 40 minutes before a session, which is very rich in carbohydrates, helps in maintaining stamina, in better energy levels, in making sure that they're not getting tired very quickly. So example can be just a banana with peanut butter or just a plain banana, or it can be dry fruits, or it can be cereal with milk, or it can be bread with peanut butter, it can be bread with jam. So all of these are options for a meal or a snack that you can have pre-training. During training, the focus is more hydration. Yes, water and salt. So lemon water and salt is great for maintaining hydration levels during training. So during training, focus is making sure that you are putting back in your body all the water and all the electrolytes that we lose while training. Also, if it is a really long training session or if it is a very intense training session, then the focus is also maintaining energy levels. So for that, you can have a simple carbohydrate uh, during training as well. So again, it can be dates, it can be raisins, it can be banana. Black coffee, yes. Black coffee does help in feeling like you have better energy levels, but that is not because it has any amount of carbohydrates in it. That is just because coffee acts as a stimulant to the nervous system. And once your nervous system is stimulated, then you feel like you have more energy levels. So black coffee is a great pre-training, like a little shot of coffee or like a little amount of coffee is great. Okay, so pre-training focus is more on carbohydrates. Post-training, the focus will be more on recovery. So for recovery, post-training, the focus will be more on protein. Along with protein, during training, there is a lot of energy that the athlete has used for the training session as well. So, along with protein, they will have to focus on carbohydrates as well. So, post training, we focus on three things. One is recovery, so protein that comes in for recovery. Second is refuel. So again, carbohydrates to get back the energy and rehydrate or any other water loss that the athlete has not say had enough water during training. Or can we eat banana empty stomach? Yes, you can. So maybe the athlete has not had enough water during training and is still feeling like, the water needs to be replenished or fluids need to be replenished. It can be done post training as well. So recap, pre-training carbohydrates, during training water, electrolytes, and simple carbohydrates, post-training protein, carbohydrates, and meals. Any questions till now? Okay, maybe not. Now coming to supplements. What do we understand by supplements? What are supplements? Okay. So supplements are, it can be in various forms. So supplement can be in a powder form, in a tablet form, it can be in a gel form, it can be in various forms. But supplement is something that you add to your diet when you aren't able to meet your requirements or your body's requirements for whatever. It could be carbohydrates, proteins, fats, micronutrients, or even performance through your diet. So, if your diet is not able to give you everything that your body needs or give the athlete everything that the athlete's body needs, then we add in a supplement. So, it is added, it's an addition to your diet. It's not replacing your diet or it's not taking place of your diet. It's something that you add with your diet. So, when your diet is insufficient or if you have nutritional gaps in the food that you're having, then you can add in a supplement, and it obviously helps in enhancing performance, enhancing recovery, enhancing strength, stamina, endurance, all of those things. Okay, so now supplements, we're going to cover a little bit of a different types of supplements. So the first is there are supplements that help in hydration, specifically, which is important for athletics. Then you have protein supplements for recovery and for strength and muscle building. You have micronutrient supplements because your body can have deficiency of certain micronutrients. So you need to make sure that you have micronutrients in enough quantity stored in the body. And then you have your performance supplements, which are things like your creatine, arginine, beta alanine, which have a direct effect on the performance of an athlete. Now, first one, coming to supplements for hydration. What are the supplements? Have you all heard of any supplements that help in hydration? So, hydration supplements are your basic supplements like Enazole, electrol, fasten up. If you are like ORS, yes, ORS, fasten up. So fasten up has those reload tablets, or they have the drink as well. So you have supplements like those. So basically, electrolyte and electrolyte plus sugar combination, which can help balance the sodium and potassium levels that we spoke about earlier to prevent dehydration. What are the symptoms of dehydration? Cramps, great. Apart from cramps, fatigue, very good. Headache, very good. Along with headache, what else can be a symptom of dehydration? Shortness of breath, so yeah, decrease in stamina, yes, vomiting, so nausea. Also dizziness, so feeling a little dizzy in the head. All of those are symptoms of dehydration. So the major symptoms of dehydration are obviously cramps, fatigue, tiredness, headaches, dizziness, blackouts in very extreme cases. So for preventing all of these symptoms while training, it is important to make sure you have a good hydration status. And supplements like your electrol, enerzole, ORS, fasten up reload help in maintaining that electrolyte balance. The next is a protein supplement. So, when do we start a protein supplement? At what age can an athlete start a protein supplement? Dark urine as well. Yes, dark urine is it's not a symptom of dehydration, but it's an indication of dehydration. But very good. Any age? No. 18, post 18, above 18. Okay. So for protein supplements, you can have younger, yes, so 16 and above, when you have a little younger athletes, even though they are not 18, they can still have protein supplement. But that is only if they are not able to, for whatever reason, eat enough protein from their food, or they are continuously having recovery issues. So even after eating well, even after sleeping well, even after hydrating well, if they are still having recovery problems, or if they're not able to get a lot of protein through food, that is when you can start a protein supplement. But they do need to be above 16 years of age to start any kind of protein supplement. Um, Protein supplements, obviously, the main thing that it helps in is muscle recovery. And then after that, it helps in gaining strength, increasing the size of the muscles, gaining power. So for any athlete who's also looking at increasing muscle mass, increasing in strength, a increase in protein through diet, and then maybe through a supplement as well will help in achieving his or her goals. The next one is micronutrients. So, how will you know if an athlete needs any particular micronutrient supplements? Blood test. Great. And what are the parameters that you do check in a blood test? Hemoglobin. Yes. What else? LFT. That's liver function test. Vitamin D levels. Very good. KFT. Yes, that's kidney function test. So kidney function test will also help um, in you understanding the electrolyte levels because your general calcium, sodium, potassium, all of that gets covered in your kidney function test. Um, Calcium, yeah, so that will get covered. What are the vitamins that you can look at apart from D3? Any other vitamins? You don't really have a test for vitamin C, but B12, yes. Great. So the major micronutrients for supplementation that we look at is vitamin D3, B12, folic acid, iron, calcium, magnesium. These are the six micronutrients that we look at when it comes to micronutrient supplementation. So those are the ones that you can get checked in a blood test. If the levels are low or if the levels are insufficient also, supplements can be started for athletes, specifically for vitamin D, because it plays a really important role in injury management by maintaining bone health, tendon health, joint health. So even if it is insufficient or even if it is within the normal range, but it's on the lower end of the normal range, you can still give supplements for vitamin D3, B12. So always first get the bloods checked before starting a micronutrient supplements because sometimes if you take supplements without checking your blood test, you can overdose as well, and higher amounts of certain vitamins and minerals like calcium in the body or even iron in the body can cause toxicity, and that's not very good. It can have side effects. So, the first thing is always to get your bloods checked, see what the levels are. Based on the levels, decide how much of a supplement and for how long do you need it. And once that is discussed with a nutritionist or with a doctor or physician, then you can start the supplements. And then you need to do a follow up blood test as well to check if that supplementation has worked or if it hasn't worked. Okay. What are some of the now next and the last category of supplements is performance supplements. What are some of the performance supplements that you all have heard about? Performance supplements. Whey protein we kind of covered in protein supplements. Creatine, yes. Oh, I forgot to cover the types of protein supplements. What are the different types of protein supplements before we go on to performance? So coming back to protein, what are the different types of protein supplements? Whey protein, casein, protein bars. Apart from protein that's made from milk, which is whey and casein, any other protein supplements? TCAA, EA, technically amino acids, but okay. Plant-based protein, great. And what are some of the examples of plant-based protein? Soy, yes. And any other apart from soy? Pea protein. One more. You also have brown rice protein, or you have like a blend of everything together. So the hemp protein as well. So you have different types of plant protein. So you can have soy, you can have hemp, you can have brown rice, you can have pea protein, or you can have a powder that's a combination of all of these together. When would you recommend a plant protein as compared to a whey protein? Does anybody know? Lactose intolerance, yes. So if someone is lactose intolerant, which means that they can't digest milk, then it is preferred that they get their protein from a plant protein. Sometimes people might not be lactose intolerant, but because milk can be a little heavy to digest, so whey protein or casein protein or anything that's made from milk can be a little harder to digest and they might have gut issues, like bloating. So if that is something that is recurrent and it's happening very often, then you can switch from a whey protein to a plant protein. But definitely in terms of an intolerance, plant protein is a better source. Okay, great. Sorry. Now coming back to performance supplements. What are some of the performance supplements that you know of or you know about? There are some in the chat, so I'll just go back and read them. Creatine, yes. Beta-alanine, yes. What else? Sodium bicarb, yes. Sodium bicarb is a performance supplement as well. Creatine, beta-alanine, sodium bicarbonate, anything else you'll have heard of? Glutamine, carnitine, yes. Okay. Um, just try not to draw anything on the presentation because it is probably a lot of people won't be able to read what's written. So, performance supplements majorly help in increasing energy production, improving focus. So, you have supplements like caffeine that can help in the right dosage, help in improving focus during competition, improving strength, power for explosive movements, and delay in fatigue and also better recovery. So, what does let's just take examples of all the supplements you all have spoken about. What does creatine help in? Muscle water retention is something that's caused because of creatine. Recovery, strength, and building muscle. Yes. So, major is recovery. Creatine does play a very important role in recovery, and it helps in building muscles, which then helps in building strength. Along with that, creatine also helps in a lot of explosive actions because it does provide your body with energy for a really, really short amount of time. So, like 5, 6 seconds. So, if there's up to 10 seconds, so if there's any action that requires is a very short burst, like a sprint, your body will use creatine as a source of energy as well. So, for anything explosive, for increasing in muscle and for recovery, creatine plays a really important role. At what age can you start taking performance supplements? 18. Yes. So for protein, you can start it for a little younger athletes as well. But in terms of performance supplements, it should be started only after 18 years of age. So any performance supplement can be caffeine, can be creatine, carnitine, beta-alanine, sodium bicarb, nitrate, anything should be started about 18 years of age. Okay, how does beta-alanine and sodium bicarbonate help? What does what do both of them do? Lactate buffer. Yes. So both beta-alanine and sodium bicarbonate helps in a lot of lactate buffering. So when there is a lot of lactic acid that's produced in the muscles, to delay the production of lactic acid, or whenever it's built to make or whenever it is built in the muscle to make sure that it's cleared a lot better, you have supplements like beta-alanine and sodium bicarb. What about L-arginine and nitrate? What do both of them help in? Caffeine. Caffeine just helps with concentration and feeling of energy. Nitrate is for oxygen supply, not really carrier. It doesn't carry oxygen, but nitrate helps in making sure that more oxygen is reaching the muscles. So if you have more oxygen, what happens? You feel more energy because you have more glucose going into the muscles, more micronutrients, more water going into the muscles. So stamina increases. And you can, again, for endurance athletes, it's really good because once stamina increases, you can perform for a longer period of time. So beta alanine bicarbonate is better for sprint events. L-arginine nitrate is better for endurance events or long distance events. Creatine can be taken across. So it can be taken for sprints, it can be taken for jumps, it can be taken for throws, it can be taken for long distance as well. Okay. Any questions about performance supplements? Great. Just a couple of refresher tips before we go into the question answer bit. So, first, the priority is always eating a balanced diet more than figuring out what supplements are going to improve your performance or make you better. It's important that you first maintain a balanced diet. Always use supplements only from a trusted brand, and it's extremely important that all the supplements that any athlete is using are dope free. So they need to be third party tested. So there are certain organizations that test certain brands of supplements to make sure that they don't have any doping substances in them. So only buy supplements that are third party tested, and make sure that you're consulting with a sports nutritionist before taking any supplement or before recommending any supplement, because supplements, when taken in a larger dosage or over a longer period of time, can be harmful for health as well. And before buying any supplement, make sure that you're reading the labels so that you know what you're buying, and what are the contents, or what does that supplement actually contain. Because a lot of times when you're buying a supplement, it can contain a lot of other things in it as well. So, or other substances in it as well. So just make sure you're reading the label, you're reading the dosage, and then buying your supplement. And that's it. We'll go into like maybe 10 minutes of question answers. You can either write it in the chat.
If you need to ask a direct question, you can just raise your hands. I will just unmute yourself, or I'm just unmuting everyone. Whomever need to ask a question, just one by one, you can just ask the question. Ma'am is ready to answer here.
How much protein is suggested? So for an athlete, we usually suggest anywhere between 1.2 to 1.2 to 2 grams per kg body weight. So it will depend on the sport, it'll depend on the age, it'll depend on the weight, it'll depend on goal. So it's very varying. So the reasons I didn't write any recommendations in terms of dosage of supplements, or I didn't write the calories or the amount of carbohydrates, proteins, is because it's very, very different for every athlete. Um, if you have a 15-year-old athlete as compared to if you have a 22-year-old athlete, the requirements are going to be very different. So it becomes very difficult to give you all the actual numbers or tell you all, but I can give you a ballpark figure, like an average maybe. Name some recommended brand of supplement. Now it'll depend on what supplement you want. But if you want protein supplements, then you have tested brands like Optimum Nutrition, you have Fast Enough, you have Explosive. So these are the brands which have some supplements that are tested, including creatine, BCAA, protein.
Yes, Mr. Silva. Your question,
Yeah,
please.
ma'am, I have one question. After 50 years, can we take protein supplements like whey protein? Is it safe, ma'am?
Can, but again, like I said, it's only if you are not able to eat enough protein through your diet. If you're eating enough protein through your diet and you're taking a supplement, then it's not going to help you. Then, but there's no like limit to, okay, after this age, you can't take a particular supplement. You can take it if your body is using it. There's no harm in it.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am,
There's a
hello,
Good
ma'am.
morning.
Excuse
Good
me,
morning,
ma'am.
Shifra.
Hello, ma'am. Hearing me? Myself, Sam. Hello, ma'am.
Sir,
hi,
one by
Sam.
one. Sam, sir, please.
Myself, Sam Andrews. Hello,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
Ma'am,
Hello, good.
I'm a referee, ma'am. STO state training officer. What are the foods for an athlete take, ma'am? Mainly for the short and distance runs, ma'am.
For what?
What are the main food, ma'am, an athlete can take, ma'am, to increase his strength and the stamina?
So for strength, they'll have to focus on protein.
Protein. Okay.
Any good sources of protein. And for stamina, they will have to focus on carbohydrates. So any good
Carbohydrates.
sources of carbohydrates. So make sure
Okay.
that both of them are in a good balance in
Okay.
their diet. And if they're getting good amount of carbs and proteins, strength and stamina will increase.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank
Shifra,
you. Thank you.
Shifra,
Thank you,
Shifra.
ma'am. Riya sir, please, sir.
Yeah, Shifra.
Yes, sir. Good
My
afternoon.
athletes are doing competition. What you
Okay.
suggest in between recovery of if it heats to semi to finals? What you prefer on the competition day?
So the one focus that has to be on competition day is hydration.
Okay.
So you need to make sure that your athletes are continuously drinking small amounts, not very large amounts, but like at least sipping on some kind of fluid and electrolyte. So it can
Oh,
be electrol, ORS, Enerzol, or it can be coconut water, it can be lemon juice, all of that, because you do lose a lot of water, especially if you have three events in one day, you're going to lose a lot of water, and dehydration can cause a decrease in performance. That's one. Second is they need to eat enough simple sources of carbohydrates. So before a race, have a little bit of banana, dates, raisins. After a race, make sure that they're eating again. So it can be like a slice of
we
bread with jam.
we South Indian normally have idli or
So that
curd
can be had
rice.
for breakfast. Curd rice can be had
Curd
for
rice.
lunch.
Is it
Yeah,
okay? Is it
absolutely.
okay? Not
Absolutely
much of
fine.
spoons of curd rice. It will be good
Absolutely
for
fine.
that carbo to recover.
Yes. So idli,
Mm.
not dosa, but like uttapam,
No,
idli.
no. What I'm saying is idli and curd rice.
Yeah, that's fine. You can have idli
What
and curd rice.
any other food source, fruit source,
Fruit or
vitamin
food.
C or vitamin C will help.
Yeah, so you can have oranges, you can have sweet lime. So like I'm saying, every 90 minutes, it helps if they have something, especially if they're going to be on the ground for like an entire day. Make sure that
Yes.
every 90 minutes there is some source of carbohydrate coming in. So it can be a fruit, it can be dry fruit laddu, it can be dry fruits, it can be banana, it can be just jam and bread. It doesn't need to be like a proper meal. It can be like small things like these, just more regularly and more frequently so that they constantly have energy in the body.
Okay. Well, another question is that I have put on the first itself. What is you prefer when you are preparation? What has to be taken? It is creatine or caffeine or something else. They are saying. What is the main thing to have the base of work more with energy?
So preparation in what sense? What is it'll
Preparation for
depend
a
on.
competition, pre-competition preparation period. What is the like drink or plus like fast nap like that? What you prefer more to have them and do their practice without any injuries?
But that will depend on it's very athlete specific, but generally pre-competition or closer to competition, if you're talking about supplements, then like I said, for sprints, we can start a beta alanine or a sodium bicarbonate because it does help in lactic acid buffering. For longer distance, you can do L-arginine and nitrate because it helps with stamina. Caffeine, you can trial it, but it doesn't need to be taken regularly because the body can become used to caffeine. So if you're taking caffeine, you can trial it during training just to see how an athlete's body is reacting to it. And caffeine specifically, I like to use it only in and around competition because then it actually makes them feel that little bit of boost in energy. If you're continuously using caffeine, your body will get used to it and you won't feel that during competition.
No, sometimes they say that you can work the caffeine in pre-competition. How you say it is okay?
Yeah, you can use it in pre-competition, but not every day. You can use it
Not
maybe once a week. You can use
once
it
a
once
week.
a week at on
Once
a
a
very,
week
very
in the what
low
type of
session,
training to adapt with the
high
speed
load
training
session.
or weight training?
No, so track training, specifically when you have a really higher load session on the
Load
track.
section.
Yes.
More of repetition. That time we
More
can
of repetitions. Yes. that kind of a session, you can trial the caffeine. They can have it because that is when they need more energy. If we're going to do it on a lighter session, they're not really going to use it that much, right? So when your body needs it is when you need to give it to the caffeine.
On a gym section, it is useful or not?
Not that much.
Not that much. Only on track where it will be used
It's
in
better.
more.
It is better on track sessions.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Ma'am,
Yeah, please, next.
excuse me,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah, please. You only. Yeah, good
How
name,
old are
please.
you?
I am 11 years.
Oh, are you a
That's great.
coach at 11 years already?
No, I'm an athlete actually.
Tell me.
How much protein does an athlete need?
So, are you asking for you?
Yeah.
What is your weight
I'm 32.
and how much do you train in a day?
3 hours or 2 hours.
3 or 2 hours in the day. So one session in a day?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you trying to like increase your weight or anything like that?
It's not clear. One more time,
Are
please.
you trying to increase your weight or gain more strength? Is that
Yeah.
something that you're trying to do? You said you're 32. Your weight
Yeah.
is 32. Okay. So you will need about 50 grams of protein in the day right now.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, what's your good name and where are you from?
I'm R.S. Riya and I'm from Coimbatore.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, next question. I think Mr. Srinivasan has been raised his hand. Yeah, Mr. Srinivasan, sir.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Bhuvana, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. Ma'am, which age group started in the food supplement in correct ages? Our suggestion is 16 and 18. What is your strong suggestion food supplement of it?
What's the
What do you mean
minimum?
by
She's asking
what do you mean by
what is the
food
minimum
supplement?
age?
Yeah.
But what do you mean by food supplement?
So extra the raw food in between gap we fulfill the food supplement. No, we use shows the powder type tin types protein powders and
She's
Like
asking about the
protein X and
external
all.
supplements. No, the
Like protein
external.
X.
extra.
So protein supplement in 16 years of age, if that's what you're asking.
16 is correct. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, I'm just reading out. There are a few more questions in the chat
Yes,
box also.
please.
Yeah, can ketogenic diet is good for endurance during events?
Not really. I mean, it can work for certain athletes, but it's not something that will work for everybody. I still prefer to have a balanced diet with good amount of carbohydrates and fat in it to help in endurance events rather than focusing only on a ketogenic diet.
Fine, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Do supplements replace
Hello,
the
ma'am.
regular meals? Sir,
No,
1
they
minute,
don't.
sir. I'm just reading the chat box. Give me a minute.
Hello,
The
ma'am.
sir, Sam and sir, just 2 minutes, sir. We are
Yes,
just
sir.
going
Yes, sir.
out with chat box.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Continue.
Yeah.
You continue.
Yeah, do supplements replace the meals, the regular
Not at all.
meals?
No,
Not
they
at all.
don't.
Fine, that's great. Is chocolate milkshake good enough? I don't know
Yeah,
for
it's
what.
actually really good for recovery. Not to
Okay.
have as during the day when the athlete is just chilling and not doing anything, but if they've had a really intense training session after the session as a recovery drink because you get protein through milk, you have a little electrolytes in milk as well. Plus chocolate, if it's good quality chocolate, does help in recovery because it contains magnesium. So chocolate milk shake can actually be good for recovery, but only if it's taken after training and it doesn't need to have a lot of extra sugar in it. So it doesn't need to have like a lot of added sugar or ice cream or cream. If you're doing just milk and chocolate powder with a little bit of sugar, that's fine.
How to know if protein supplement does not contain water banned substance in it?
So,
Hello.
You usually have, like I had mentioned in the presentation, you have third-party tested logos on a supplement. So if a supplement is third-party tested, then it means that that particular batch of that supplement has been tested for any banned substances. I don't have the logos on this presentation. I should have put them. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'll still answer the other questions. Till then, I'll find the logos so that you all can see them.
Sure, sure. Yes, Mr. Srinivasan, sir. Srinivasan, sir, are we there?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes,
this
so
is Gautam.
Yeah,
yes,
Mr.
Yeah,
Gautam.
ICMR and Sports Authority of India has given some guidelines depending upon the activity, depending upon the workout, how much of calorie, how much of protein, what are the supplement can be given, in which limit they can have, like that. They are given some guidelines. Have you following that? Have you tried?
have I tried the ICMR guidelines? Is that your
It's
question?
actually recently only they have published.
உன்னை பேசுவ நீ
With
வாய்
lot
மூட்டு
of
இருக்கணும்
research.
மத்தவங்களையும் சேர்த்து ஏறக்கூடாது
I mean, yes, we do look at the ICMR guidelines,
Yes,
especially for
ICMR and
requirements.
Sports
So
Authority of
when
India.
we look at the requirements, it's a combination of things. ICMR is one of the things that we look at. There's also research papers that we look at. There's also
No,
international
it's not a
guidelines that
research
we look
paper.
at.
It's a book which composed of all the athletic activities. For example, badminton, cricket, weightlifting, everything it has list out that what is the duration of the activity. Like that, they have given some guidelines. It's
Yes.
better while you are presenting with the evidence. If you are presenting means it will be